Hey y'all, and welcome back to Katie on the Flip Side. If you are new here and you're wondering why I'm sitting in my car, welcome to a car chat. This is where we talk about all the things that are important, and this is kind of how my new series started back on my channel back in September. And it's not something that's happened in the past month or so, but there's just some things I wanted to talk about today, and this is where I felt comfortable doing it. Those of y'all that have been here for a while know how that goes. So if you are new and have no idea who I am or what like my actual life is other than doing Marie Kondo stuff, I'm Katie. I'm married to my husband Cullen, and we have two kids, a little girl that's 4 named Gaines and a little boy that's 2 named Brooks. We have had a family vlog channel for about 7.5 years. Probably 6.5 of those, almost 7, were daily vlogs. Every single day, 7 days a week. There's been a lot of fun and a lot of crazy and a lot of ups and downs through our whole family journey. My husband and I have been married for almost 12 years, and we dated for 4 years before that. So we've been together for a really long time. As with any couple, we've had struggles and ups and downs. We talked about some of this on our daily vlog channel around this time last year, and some of the things we were going through. Cullen was dealing with some depression. I opened up about some postpartum depression I had after our second child was born. And in that time, there are some things that we both had mentioned. You know, we're going to share as much with you guys as we can and be open about our story and our process and as we're going through this. But there were just some things that we didn't feel comfortable sharing. I think everything is shared in the time frame that it needs to be shared in. And when you know you're ready to share, you do. So that was a really brief kind of rundown introduction to this next really important topic. If you don't know, Cullen and his sister have started a podcast within the past year. And on his podcast on Tuesday, Cullen opened up about the struggle with addiction that he has been facing. It has been something that has been an issue up and down, in and out, sometimes yes, sometimes no, for a number of years, but it's not until the past year or 2, year and a half, that it has truly, strongly, and deeply impacted our marriage. I'm not going to go into a bunch of details with everything because that's not my place. But I do want to share with you my feelings and my thoughts right now, because that's kind of what this whole new series on my channel that I started back in September was about. Changing my life, finding myself, trusting myself, and making decisions, overcoming codependency, and all the things that are involved with that. It would be totally not right to share this portion of the story because it's a huge part of what I've been going through. I haven't been able to share a lot of it along the way, even though it's kind of the driving force behind what all has been going on with the changes in my life. It hasn't been my story to share. It's Cullen's story, and I was not going to just come out and like share his struggles before he was ready to share with anybody. There are some of you guys that I've seen in the comments along the way as I've been divulging different information and kind of sharing with y'all the life changes that I've been going through and the things that I've been overcoming mentally, emotionally, personally. Several of y'all have kind of led me to believe that you kind of could see that something was going on, and hinting at the fact that you realized that a lot of the things I was dealing with come from having a spouse with an addiction problem or living in a family with an addiction problem. Although that's not the only reason that people deal with codependency issues or any of the other stuff that I've talked about. I do think it's a great step that Cullen is making to finally kind of admit that there is a problem going on and talk about it with the people that he shares everything with, which is you guys, and the people that follow our channel. It's also quite a big relief to me to be able to open up about this. That has been a huge part of my life and a huge part of my struggles that I have not been able to talk about because, like I said, it's not my struggle to share. You know, we have talked to counselors about different things and have had friends and some family members who know some details of different things that have been going on. But as with any relationship, as with anything, nobody else knows everything. Nobody else knows the whole entire picture. Unless they live in your house and in your mind and with you too, every single time you have a conversation, nobody can fully understand what's going on in your relationship and in your life. Unless they're reading every single text message you sent, listening to every phone conversation, every single exchange of a glance or a hug, it all adds up together. And I've mentioned this before about how important it is to really trust yourself as you're making decisions about your life and about your relationships with other people, because nobody knows exactly what's going on other than you. And I feel like that's been super important for me too, and why I've really quit sharing much of the information of what's going on in our relationship with really anybody, because it just complicates things. Bits and pieces of what people might hear from what you might be experiencing that one day, that one situation, are things that are going to cause them to make certain suggestions or give you advice on what to do in the situation without really knowing all of the details. So where does this bring us with this video and my channel? I do want to be able to share with you guys some of the things that I'm going through. I've learned a ton over the past year, not only about myself, but about a lot of things in life. And I want to be able to share anything that might help somebody else who's going through the same situation or a similar situation. If you have dealt with being in a relationship with somebody who has an addiction problem, you know the big struggle, but you also know all the little tiny struggles that go through your mind, that go through your household, that go through everything you do throughout every day. And while I'm not saying I'm going to share every little thing and every little detail, I do want to be able to open up and talk about it and just kind of let you guys know that this is a major piece to the puzzle of my life changes in the past 4 or 5 months or so that I haven't shared about yet, and that is very relevant to what's going on. I don't want you to think that now my channel is going to become totally about this, that's going to be, you know, downhill and things are going to get crazy. I've worked really hard on myself and on building my channel and building something that I'm proud of, that I've done completely by myself. I've learned to edit videos. I've been solely in charge of doing anything that goes along with my channel, which is something that I've never done before. I'd never edited a video before September. I had helped with uploading videos and I'd helped with like doing thumbnails and that kind of thing, but I'd never been fully in charge of running a channel. And it's something I'm very proud of and something I want to continue. And in a situation like this, where there's a major struggle going on in your life, I feel like it's really, really important to have something that you're working on, that you're proud of. And in my case, that's something that is really relevant to what's going on and is actually helping me process things and get through things as I go along. So here's what I need from you guys. Y'all are seriously the best, and it makes me so happy when I get to hang out with y'all on live streams, talk to you guys, get messages from you guys. I feel like I have the most genuine, loving, supportive followers ever. And I am going to share some things with you along the way as I feel comfortable. I would just ask that you not ask for any specific details that I don't reveal. This is a very personal situation that we're going through, as Cullen is finally kind of dealing with some things that he's needed to deal with for a while. And I'm honestly going to tell the same thing to my family and friends as we're dealing with this. If I don't share details, just don't ask. It's hard for me to even kind of process the details and think about details myself. What happened? What's the situation? What's he addicted to? What's he done? What's he doing to get better? Who's involved? Who's been, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of questions that people tend to ask, and just out of curiosity, it's just kind of what happens. And not only am I asking for that because of privacy and being able to just kind of keep some things to ourselves, but some of those questions are things maybe I haven't fully dealt with myself or processed mentally myself, or things that I have tried to process. And if they're brought up again, when I think about certain things again, it is a major trigger to send me down a spiral of, you know, being upset or getting distressed or uncomfortable with the situation. If you've been in a relationship with somebody dealing with these types of struggles, you know, it can be a very lonely place, because unless you've been in it, you do not understand. And I can promise you that more than anything that I've ever said. I know that I've had some friends who've dealt with similar situations with addiction and that kind of thing in the past, and I've thought like, man, I really can understand, that really sucks, based on things they told me or things I'd heard or read, or even like studying psychology stuff I've studied. But until you're in it, there's really no way to understand the little small things that happen or go on in your head or go on in their heads or go on in your relationship and your communication unless you've been in it. One thing that we could definitely use is prayers, as always. As you've seen me go through this process, a lot of it has been realizing that I can't change things that are not my responsibility, things that are not in my control, as much as I've wanted to throughout our marriage, throughout our relationship, be the one to save Cullen from these struggles or make sure that he stays in line or whatever else. It's not my responsibility, and I just haven't realized until recently how much pressure I've put on myself and how disappointing and heartbreaking and just draining it is to be the one trying to help when you don't even realize that you can't. I can't change him. I can't change the fact that addiction is a disease and it has a stronghold over him and his mind and his body. I can't change that. God can work in him to change that, and through his work towards recovery and God's work in his life and in my life, it can definitely be overcome, but it takes work, and it takes work for me, but not in the way that I was doing it before. I've learned a ton about how as a spouse, we do have to let things go and give up that control that we so much want to be able to fix it, to make it better, to make him not hurt, to make me not hurt, to make our kids not be involved in anything, but you can't. One of the big things that I hear over and over again is the 3 C's. You didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. And that's been a big thing for me to accept. My recovery from codependency, from all the things I've talked about recently with not trusting myself, self-confidence, all of that plays a huge role in his recovery as well. But it's the things I need to do for myself, not the things that I need to do to change him. He mentioned this a little bit on the podcast too, about how a lot of times in relationships and throughout our relationship, it's been said not just by him, but by family members of like, oh, I don't know where Cullen to be if it weren't for Katie. And him saying, you know, she saved my life. She kept me from, you know, being involved in things that I shouldn't do. And that's a lot of pressure. And that I think it is not something anybody ever intended to put pressure on me. I think it's just kind of something that's said of people, you know, you got like a crazy, wild, silly husband. You got to be the one to be like, Cullen, inappropriate. Who's heard that a million times? And honestly, I felt like that was what I was supposed to do. And I'm only now learning that he can't change unless he wants to change. He's going to have to make the decisions. He's going to have to put in the work. And there's nothing I can do other than be supportive and love him. And as much as I can, detach myself from his decisions and his behaviors to keep myself from feeling like they're my problem or they're my bad decisions or they're my behaviors. I talked about this in a video once of coming to the realization that that was one thing that was stressing me, was feeling like things other people did were things that I actually did, which is a really, really strange feeling to have and experience to be in. But I'm working through it and doing the best I can. I know Cullen mentioned in his video about AA meetings or NA meetings, which some of y'all may be familiar with. And some of y'all may not be familiar with that there's also meetings for family members of significant others that have experienced substance misuse, abuse, whatever. There is an Al-Anon and an Ar-Anon, and both of those, from what I've heard, from what I've read, from different online support groups that I have been involved in, are ridiculously helpful and can totally change things and turn things around for you. I would not be where I was if it weren't from learning from other people who have been through this and been in a relationship with somebody who is struggling with this disease. It's not easy on anybody. And at this point right now in our lives, we've crossed over from the struggle, the back and forth, the you should be doing this, no, you should be doing this, why are you telling me this, why are you trying to make me be into this person that I'm not, and so forth and so on, to wait a minute, there's a problem. And both of us realizing there's a problem, and both of us realizing I got to be responsible for my problem, and I got to be responsible for my problem. And then we're going to have to see how we can work it out together, because it's a complete different approach and aspect to our marriage, our relationship, and our family than has ever been there, as far as there being identification of the problem and attempts to seek help. I have a lot of things that I want to say and a lot of things I want to talk about, and I just need to wrap my mind around all of them and get them figured out in my own head. So y'all be patient with me. I am continuing the KonMari process, so don't think I'm stopping that. I'm still working on Gaines's room and Gaines's closet, and that will be hopefully my video next week. I'm running in to work on that right now. If you notice the background keeps changing, it's because the sun keeps coming in on me and I'm trying to keep things from looking really funky. Sorry about that. I hope y'all enjoyed this car chat and sitting down and just being real with everything. I really appreciate all of y'all's support and your prayers. I know you're always so supportive and so kind and loving, and I really look forward to working through some of this with you guys here for the ride. I am planning to be back for a live stream as usual on Sunday night on this channel, 9 p.m. Central Time-ish. Hoping the kids get in bed in time so I can be there at that hour. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on Sunday night. Bye.